foam no more. And this is kind of the foam ban that is starting to occur. So as you can see from today's show, we've got a lot of legislation that's really hitting the streams in terms of where it can be affecting restaurants. And of course, Maryland's House of Delegates has advanced legislation, House Bill 109, that would essentially prohibit food service providers from selling food and drinks in single-use containers. So that's pretty much saying that, you know, any kind of foam or single-use container is pretty much out. This will be interesting when you look at how restaurants will start to respond to this, because packaging, especially in to-go, and when you look at on-demand delivery, these are huge factors in the industry itself, especially in the area of growth. Covered establishments in this House bill would be including restaurants, grocery stores, food trucks, schools, movie theaters, publicly or privately owned cafeterias. Obviously, the most recent bill language will also include cups, plates, trays, takeout containers, egg cartons, containers of meat, poultry, seafood would be excluded. So there are some factors in here that would still allow for carrier use in terms of supplier, and I think that's going to be fine. The big question is going to be takeout delivery and on-demand delivery. I think those are going to be two of the categories that will be affected in a very big way. Foodable Labs shows that over 65% of the restaurant industry uses foam containers, and this is according to Social Mentions. So it's a massive part of our business model on a day in, day out basis. And when you look at kind of the aspect of where this legislation is stemming from, and also what we're seeing in the overall aspect of how consumer perception is starting to play a really big role in how restaurants and retail businesses interact with them. What we're looking at is essentially kind of the sentiment aspect of that. What kind of hits will brands take when they are using this from the consumer side? So that'll be interesting to kind of see. Additionally, the world is currently producing more than 14 million tons, U.S. tons of polystyrene, which is plastic foam, each year, and Americans are throwing away about 25 billion in styrofoam cups every year. So this obviously is a big problem in the industry, and I think with Baltimore passing this foam ban in 2018, which will be set to take effect later this year, 2019, while other cities across the country, including Seattle, San Francisco, and New York, have enacted similar bans. And I think this is going to be one of the factors that we're going to be facing in the coming years. If the bill does pass, food service operators would be forced to stop offering foam containers by July 1st, 2020. Violators would be notified and receive 3 months to correct their behavior, and continued noncompliance after that period would basically hit them with a penalty of $250. So I think as we see trends moving into more eco-friendly packaging, as I was referring to, consumers much more aware of the impact of the restaurant industry as a whole on our environment and on our society. I think this is something that is pretty much been on the bullseye target for a while, and now it's actually happening. So take a look at this graphic, which is really kind of our Foodable Labs graphic on 52% of food influencers under the age of 35 are making dining decisions based on to-go packaging or to-go products. And this is recorded from about 320,000 social conversations around food packaging. So essentially what that's saying is that as I start to dine out and you've got a cool or reusable or compostable packaging, I appreciate that as a consumer, and I'm willing to maybe put you on my target list of a frequent restaurant that I'm going to. And I think that's going to have something to say, especially as the business continues to move on. Even more important is the issue of the brand themselves being damaged in the overall sentiment. And I think that's going to be the one that is probably the one that will really reshift how brands think about their packaging, is the fact that though consumers may select your restaurant, the real factor, I think, is if the brand starts to take a hit, whether it's from press or social media, that's where I think the tipping point will occur, and we'll see a pretty major move.